Okay, good morning. My name is Lokesh. I'm part of Algomojo team. Welcome to this session on how to automate your strategies using Algomojo platform. This session is getting recorded, and you'll be able to view in case if you want to at a later time also. In case if you have any queries, if you would like to have a look at anything specific, please use the Q&A box to type out your requirements. I'll try and answer them and try and show them during the course of the session. We will start with a small presentation. Then we will get into the actual actual demo of the platform itself. We will use TradingView to see some automation using a strategy or an indicator or a trend line kind of studies in the TradingView chart and see how the orders can be executed using Algomojo. The agenda is we will start with a small introduction to the Algomojo platform and its features. Then we will look at how do we do an integration with platform like TradingView. In case if anybody is interested in Amibroker, we can try and have a look at that also. A small brief about Algomojo support, how to contact and how to get your queries or issues sorted out. Yeah, our website is algomojo.com. We have a web-based, it is a web-based platform. We don't have any mobile app as such. Using any browser, you can log into Algomojo and use all the features and facilities that are available. So it can be any browser. It could be Chrome, it could be Edge, it could be Safari, it could be Brave, anything, any of the browsers, and you get to use all the features and facilities. The platform is designed to help traders to automate the strategies which you would have and be running using various platforms like it could be TradingView, it could be Amibroker, it could be MT4, or if you're using charting kind of platforms, or if you are a programmer and you'd like to run your strategies using Python, we have an extensive library. You can refer to the Python library and create your strategies and run your own strategies using Python also. We provide common API connectivity to multiple brokers. Currently, we have integrated with close to 27, 28 brokers. We keep adding brokers as we go along. Most of the large brokers in Indian market are integrated, and you will be able to automate your strategies for trading in the Indian market. We are currently not yet integrated for usage in crypto or in forex kind of markets. It is meant to be used for trading in Indian markets as such. It could be BSE, it could be MCX, or it could be NSE, any of these kind of exchanges. Our aim is to make the algo trading experience simple as possible, as user friendly and efficient as possible. All you need to do is have a good strategy that you would like to trade. If you have a good strategy, or if you have some kind of studies that you would like to automate, then we are there to assist you. Point to note is that we do not provide strategies, we do not provide tips, we do not provide recommendations of what to buy, when to buy, and when to sell. Kind of recommendations are not provided in our platform. We act as a bridge between your charting tool and your broker. So whenever you have an indication to buy or a signal to buy in your charting platform, we pick up those signals or those studies and place orders in to a broker account. It could be for trading in or investing in equities, or it could be futures, it could be options, it could be intraday, it could be carry forward, positional, any kind of strategies that you would have. We act as a bridge between these two, that is the broker and your charting terminal. So whenever your charting terminal provides a buy or a sell signals, we pick up those signals and place orders on your behalf. We have tried to keep it as simple as possible. Anybody with a basic uh, knowledge of using a computer will be able to use a platform and automate any kind of strategies or studies that you would have. You need not have to have any kind of coding experience. You will see some samples as to how do we do the automation in TradingView without touching the codes of any of the strategies or indicators that you would be using in TradingView. We are trying to keep the facilities as simple and as user friendly as possible. Our aim is to make the users uh, place orders more efficiently and at the least of the time as such. Uh, the time taken to place orders from your charting tool to broker happens in lightning speed. There is no processing that we do except that we pick up the signal, see what you want to trade, and send it to the brokers. Since we don't have any processing that gets done in our platform, the execution speeds are much efficient and faster compared to what you would be currently experiencing as such. So in case if you have any queries, kindly use the Q&A box to type out your queries. I will try and answer as we go along. Some of the key features would include things like you can customize as to what is that you want to trade, whether you want to trade in futures or equities or options, whether you want to trade in, say, MIS or CNC or cash and carry or NRML kind of orders, or if you would like to trade in, say, dynamic options like ATM or OTM or ITM. It's possible to use and define those things in the platform itself. So all these are one-time activity wherein you define and say that this is what I want to trade, and after that you integrate that requirement into your charting tool using a simple process. We will look at that process shortly. So whenever there's a signal, whatever that you define to trade in the platform will get executed in your broker account. Now, if you want to trade, say, ITM 5, whenever there's a signal coming in, we will look at what is the instrument that you're trying to place orders with, whether it is indices or whether it is stock options, stocks. Then look at what is the spot price at that point in time, and we pick up the ITM 5 and then place order as per your requirement. Sure. I think, sir, for connecting with Done account, I'll show you the process as to how it can be done. And I will ask I think you had contacted also. I'll ask my team to touch base with you and take you through the process for integration with Done account. In case if you already used or logged into Done account through Algomojo, it's a very simple process. All you have to do is just copy paste certain things. Like what we are going to do in TradingView, a similar kind of thing needs to be done for charting also. It is much more simple to automate charting compared to any other platform. So have a look at today's demo. I will also show where to see the process for integrating with Done account and charting also. And in case if you need assistance, I'll ask my team to get in touch with you and help you out, sir. And you can choose whether you want to buy options or whether you want to write options or whether you want to hedge your main positions either by selling or by buying options. All those are possible. And you have to set up these requirements as a one-time activity in our platform. After that, you need not have to worry about creating it every day. It is available for you as long as you want to use it. In case if there are large quantities, we do the order splitting on based on your requirement that you would have specified in the platform. If the lots that you're trading is more than the freeze limit, depending on the indices or the stocks or the futures, we will split the orders and place multiple orders for you. Right. Then in terms of risk management, we have multiple options available for the users, both for traders and for investors. And yeah, investors as such. So one is that you can set uh, uh, Yeah, we will look at how do we do hedge buying and or selling also while we get into the actual demo of the platform. Now, in terms of risk management, you have target and stop loss, which you can set either in terms of points or percentage. It could be of the futures or the equities or the option premium prices also. Then you have facilities like trailing stop loss to manage your risk further. Then you have M2M based risk management available. You can set as to what is the kind of M2M that you would like to have for the day. And as soon as those limits are reached, either on the profit or the loss side, the positions open would get closed automatically, thereby maximizing your profits and minimizing your losses as such. Then we have you can also set the start and end time as to when you want to trade. Suppose you don't want to trade in the morning 1 hour's time because the volatility is pretty high. You don't want to take any trades during that time, or towards the end of the day you don't want to trade. So you can set the time as to when the signals should be processed and when the signals should not be processed. Based on that, we would process the signals that would come into our system from your charting tool. Now, M2M is the profit or the loss for the day. Once you take a trade based on um, the price movement, whether you have gained or if the price has gone against your trade, what is the profit or what is the loss for the day? That is, M2M is more based on a particular day's profit or loss. It's called the mark to market. Now, it is different from the actual profit as such. Actual profit could be that, suppose you have taken a portion yesterday, say at 100 rupees, and it had closed at 110 rupees. You would have a profit of 10 rupees. The next day, the market opens, say again at 110 rupees, and it has moved to 120 rupees. So the M2M would be that 120 minus 110, that is 10 rupees is the M2M for the day. That is the profit that you have made for that particular day. And if you look at the overall profit, it would be 120 minus 100, that is 20 rupees. So margin or the mark to market for the day would be 10 rupees, but your actual profit could be 20 rupees, depending on the kind of trade positions that you would have. Now, if you're a positional trader, the profit for the open position would be important. If you're an intraday trader, I think M2M is what people look at. It depends on each individual's requirement as to what is the expectation you are looking at for any trade that you're doing in the markets. Now, if you're trading in multiple things, like you're trading in, say, futures, you're trading in options, you're trading in commodities, you're trading in, say, equities, for each, you have to set it separately. On an overall basis, what has been the total profit or total M2M of all the open positions, that kind of facility is not yet available. We are working towards that. Maybe that kind of facility will be available shortly. But here we are talking about individual portions. Suppose you have a strategy which is trading in equities. So you can look at, set the parameter for trading in that equity. Or if you're trading in an index future, you can set what is the M2M that you need or the profit that you need for the index future. Or if it is an option, you can set it separately for the option. So you have the flexibility to choose and pick which would have higher volatility or more risk to be managed individually as such. So at an individual strategy level, we are given the M2M and profit locking kind of mechanism, risk management tools. On an overall basis, to look at all your open positions and say lock in your profit or lock in your M2M and profit or loss, it's still not available as a feature in the platform. The work is in progress for that. We will be providing even such kind of facilities for closing all the open positions based on M2M or profit as such. Shortly. Yeah, we were looking at customizing timing. Now, if you're an intraday trader, you'd like to take the trades only for the first 1 hour, 1.5 hours to capitalize on the volatility in the market in the morning sessions. You can say that, okay, you want the trades to happen from 9:15 to 10:15 only. After that, you don't want any signals to be processed, even if it comes from the charting tools. So you can set those kind of parameters as a one-time activity in our platform. Yeah, that is true. Suppose you have for each strategy, you would have different kind of instruments. We will look at it. How do we define those when we come to the actual platform usage? Such. Now, for all users, paper trade facility is made available. So I request everybody to start off using the paper trade as the paper trade facility to check if the process is getting executed as per your requirement. Are the trades going as per your requirement? Suppose your charting tool is sending a buy and a sell, and you want to trade in options which are OTM5 kind of thing. So you do the setup and take some sample signals coming out of your trading view or any other tool and check if the orders are going properly, and try it out for some time to look at all kind of scenarios for a day or two. And if you feel that okay, orders are getting executed as per your requirement in the platform, then only go in for live trades, because sometimes it so happens that there could be a mismatch in what you expect and what is actually getting executed. So in those kind of cases, you will need to fine tune some parameters or some settings. After that, the trades will go properly as per the requirements of your strategy or the studies that you would have. So on paper trade, you can do up to 6 paper trades. Okay, and um, live trade, there's no limitation. You can do as many live trades as possible. We have not kept any limitation in terms of live trades. It's only the paper trade that has got limitations up to 6, which you can do. Kindly note, paper trade is a facility to test the process, test the platform usage as such, and it is not a facility for forward testing or back testing kind of uh, environment. It is more to check the process, check the platform's performance. That's all. So whether your strategy is profitable, whether it is giving you the expected results, can you do a back testing using the paper trade? It is not a recommended tool. There are much better tools available for back testing in platforms like Amibroker or TradingView, or there could be others also. So kindly do your back testings there in terms of your strategy performance. For execution is where the Algomojo would be useful. You can use our platform for execution purpose. As such. Yes, earlier it was 3 paper trades. Now we have made it 6 for all users. As such. Yes. Yeah, exactly. See, you can update the targets and stop loss even when the trade is underway. Suppose you have created a strategy and it is already taken a position and it is in profit, and you would like to change the profit and stop loss levels. All you need to do is go switch off the paper trade or the live trade, but don't close the open positions. It will ask you when you're switching off the paper trade or the live trade whether the open position needs to be closed. Say no to that, and then go and edit the profit and the stop loss in terms of percentage or points or profit. You can modify those. Suppose you had set 5,000 as the profit, you want to change it to 10,000. You can do that and then come back and switch on the strategy again. So your new profit on stop loss would is editable, and you can modify them at any point in time as such. So that facility is already available. Kindly check it out. Correct. You have to deactivate, rather switch off, make it inactive, or don't be in live trade or paper trade. Go to switch off both live and paper trade, and then go to edit, and then go and modify the target and stop loss. After that, switch it on. So it'll work. It works as such. Yeah, there's no limitation in terms of number of stocks that you want to add in the list. Now, there are charting users, there are trading view users who have the entire FNO list. Some people would have go beyond the FNO list. They would have 1,500, 2,000, 3,000 kind of lists running in charting or trading view, more in charting kind of environment. So all those stocks that you create for a screener in say charting can also be replicated in our platform. It is a simple upload of a CSV file. We are given a format also. All you have to do is upload that information in the CSV file and update it into or load it into your strategy. So it will be taken care of. Whenever there's a signal coming in for a particular stock, which if it is there in the list, the orders will get executed. See, what you need to look at is in the trading view is running. If you're running your strategies in trading view, it is a cloud platform. They send those signals to Algomojo whenever it is generated from your strategy. uh, Pretty fast. It happens pretty fast. As I was mentioning, once the signal is received, all we do is look at what is that you're trying to trade and then pass that detail to the broker. So this happens in couple of milliseconds, nanosecond kind of time as such. We don't have any processing to be done in our system as such for placing orders. We just check what is to be traded and pass that information to your broker, and broker would in turn send it to the exchange, and your order will be executed. Now, whether you're getting the exact price as to what was there in TradingView and the executed order value, it would depend on the kind of uh, instrument that you're trading, whether the instrument is volatile, whether there's enough liquidity, there is not much of spread between the bid and ask. So it depends on those kind of factors. The average cost of the order executed would depend on these kind of factors. So we'll not be able to, as of now, guarantee that it will get executed at the same price as what you have got in TradingView or any other charting platform, because the orders that we currently send are marked as market orders. We are not sending them as limit orders. Shortly, you will have a facility where you can send it as a limit order also. Then you could have a chance to get your orders fulfilled at the limit price and not at the market price, thereby limiting the kind of slippages that you would normally encounter. But otherwise, we don't add any overheads in our platform for processing the signal and placing the orders as such. Yeah, see, when the volatility is pretty high, especially instruments like option premiums or futures price in days like, say, yesterday or day before yesterday, when the markets at the open itself moves pretty fast. So you will have slippages, which could be in terms like 10 and 20 or 30 points, depending on the kind of instrument that you're trading, because the condition of the market was very volatile. If it was a stable day, or if it is during the course of the day where the volatility is not so high, then you might not have that kind of slippages. Normally, the slippages are pretty high during the morning session, or especially during the market open sessions as such. And also, it depends on a couple of other factors like what is the instrument that you're trying to trade, whether it is options or whether it is futures, indices, or stocks. It depends on those kind of factors. Also depends on bid and ask prices, what is there for those kind of instruments that you're trading. So if the instrument is pretty liquid and if the volatility is pretty low, then you will definitely not have so much of slippage. You will almost get it at the price that you wanted. But since it is going as a market order, once you have the limit order, it will go exactly at the limit price. Whether it will get executed or filled at the exchange, we can't promise that, because the price movement, the price in the exchange, if it comes to the level of the limit price that you would have set, the order will get executed. Otherwise, it might sit in the exchange and not get executed at all if the price doesn't come back to your price. So that risk is always there. However, a lot of people do use limit orders for their trading and investment kind of activities. once it is available in our platform, you will be able to use that also. We are doing an extensive testing in terms of the limit price, and in terms of limit prices, you have three variants: the limit price itself, then the stop loss limit, and stop loss market. These are the three variants which are normally available. So we are doing an extensive testing of that. Once the testing is done and integrated, the facility, the feature will be available for the users. So kindly use the Q&A box to type out any message. If you have any particular thing to be seen, kindly mention it in the Q&A box. I'll try and show them or address them as we go along. Coming back onto the features, you have flexibility to roll over your positions. You can do it at any point in time. Say you want to roll over 5 days before the expiry or 10 days before the expiry. You can set the time and date. So based on the instrument, and when you have set that, we will be able to execute those orders or do the rollover of the position. The position is open. We will close the current contract and take the new contract for the week or the month, depending on the instrument that you are trying to trade. Uh, See, bracket orders or cover orders, um, they would typically require your price to be set as limits. So currently it is not supported in the platform. So it goes as market orders only. So we don't have a facility of cover orders or bracket orders as of now. And also these type of orders are not supported through API by many of the brokers. Whenever it used to be available through or by it was available pretty extensively with all the brokers earlier. Most of them have stopped it or not providing those. Even if they are providing, they don't provide it through API. So we will not be able to access a facility to place a cover order or a bracket order. The broker would expect the users to use their platform and place such kind of orders if they're supporting them. Currently, through API, it is not yet allowed. More of a limitation of the APIs provided by the brokers. If it is a feature available in the APIs of the brokers, we will make it available to the users also. Now, you can there are things like you can set how many trades you want to do for a day. Suppose you feel that the market could be volatile and you don't want to take more than 3 trades in a day. You can set the number of trades to 3, and there'll be 3 orders executed: buy, sell, buy, sell, and buy, sell. Or if it is short, it will be short, cover, short, cover, short, cover. After that, it will stop. So no more signals will be processed after the limit set is done as such. No, sir, basket order also as a facility is not available. It is more through a broker platform only, not an API supported function. It is brokers don't make it available as a feature in API as such. If you're trying to or wanting to place bracket order, then you will need to directly do it from some of the brokers who support the basket orders. Yeah, you can choose ATM, OTM, ITM. Suppose you're trying to hedge certain positions, you can say that, okay, your main trade is in the future and you want to hedge that with, say, OTM 5 kind of strike, you can do that. Or it can be ITM 1, 2 also, depending on your requirement. You can set both of them, one leg to trade in the futures, the other leg to act as a hedge. So when there's a buy signal coming in, your future buy will happen, and a PE also will be taken. If it is, say, ITM 2, then ITM 2 PE will be taken, and both orders will be placed based on one signal as such. And if it's a reversal, it can function in the same manner. If the sell comes, the futures will be shorted and a call will be bought. Yes. So as I was mentioning, you can limit the number of signals that you want to trade. And what we have also seen is that there are some platforms which send repeated similar kind of signals. Like you might, there are strategies which might keep sending buy multiple times. Uh, that is in terms of your scaling up kind of requirement. Now, in case if you want to execute all the buy orders, you can do that. And if there's a single sell order which comes in, all buys taken can be closed. Or if you say that, okay, I don't want multiple buys to be taken, I just want the first buy to be taken and then the sell has to happen. You can set the number of concurrent signals also to either unlimited, or you can say take two of them or three of them, depending on your requirement. You can set those kind of parameters also. Also, we have found that this is a facility to help users of Amibroker, where they find there are some strategies which may not be very much optimized in terms of signal generation. There could be issues in terms of repainting as such. So to avoid those kind of signals which get repeated or generated repeatedly due to issues in the coding itself, we have if you use this facility of limiting the number of entry signals, then it will take the first signal only if you want one buy to be executed, and the subsequent buy, if it comes by mistake or by design multiple times, those can be limited as such. So such kind of facilities are inbuilt to help the traders and investors in the platform. Now, if you're a trader or a investor who would like to hedge certain positions, you can do that. You can define each leg individually and group them together to be executed based on a single signal. Currently, all legs need to be individually managed or created and then grouped. We are working on a facility where, say, if you want butterfly as a strategy, at a click of a button, all the legs of butterfly could be created and you can place an order. So that is work in progress. It will be released shortly. Yeah. You mean to say, yeah, hedging position, I just showed. You'll need to use the grouping as a facility. We will try and do that when we look at the platform. You can receive, you can receive notifications on a Telegram using the Algomojo bot. If you have a Telegram bot, go to Algomojo bot and take the chart ID and link it with the strategy that you would create in Algomojo. Yeah, I'll show you a demo. Yeah, we will go through the stop loss X and Y. What are those? Yes. Yeah, this is something which we have brought in pretty recently, where you can lock the profit or the trail the profit also. So it's a feature which many of the users have found it useful. You can we have given an extensive blog as to how to set up the entire stuff. When we look at the platform also, I'll explain to you how to use this lock profit kind of feature, right? The segments that you can trade would include cash segments, which could be intraday or delivery. It could be futures and options in NSE, BSE commodities as such, and then and you can do dynamic options for various instruments, wherein we can pick up the ATM, ITM, OTM. You get up to 20 strikes to choose from ATM or OTM, depending on the instrument that you are trying to trade. We have currently integrated with close to 27, 28 brokers. These are the brokers with whom we have already done the API integration. So if you have an account with any of these brokers, you can start using them. And in case you get a 7 days trial free of cost. So after that, there'll be a small subscription fee applicable. Please try the trial version. Check if the platform is able to meet your requirements. If the platform is able to satisfy or meet your requirements, then only go in for subscription. There are monthly, half yearly, and yearly subscriptions available. We will go through those structures also when we are looking at the platform. Now, as a special case, if you open a new account using Algomojo as a referral, that you will get the APIs of Algomojo free of cost for life as such. These are the brokers with whom we have such a tie-up, Alice Blue, Dhan, and all these brokers, Upstock, Zebor. So if you open a new account, you get our API keys and secrets free of cost for life. So you need not have to incur any cost towards automation. All you have to have is a good strategy, either in any of the platforms like TradingView or Charting or any other Amibroker kind of environments, and you can automate your signals without any charges as such. Now, how to open a new account with Algomojo as a reference, we will look at that also shortly. Yeah, when it comes to automation, it's a two-step process. First step is what we do in Algomojo platform itself, where when we go and say what is that we want to trade. Once we decide as to what is that we want to trade, then we get into the setting up the uh, alerts and trading view, or setting it up in charting, or setting it up in Amibroker. It's a simple process, nothing complicated about it. As I was mentioning, we tried to keep it as simple and as user friendly as possible. All you have to have is a good strategy. It can be automated without any complexity at all. You need not have to look into any code. All you have to do is see if the code is allowing you to create an alert. If that facility is available, we can you can use our platform to place orders. There are certain rules, long only, short only, long plus short, then long plus short, buy, sell, short cover, and stop and reverse module. These are most important things to be selected. I will get into more details on this when we look at a strategy in TradingView and relate them as to when to use what. Because if there's a mistake that happens in selecting the rule, then the orders may not go through as per your requirements. That's the only reason. If you already have an account uh, with a different broker, you want to open an account, kindly use our referral and then uh, open an account and avail the API free, the automation free of cost as such. Yes. Now, before getting to the automation process, let's look at our website. This is algomojo.com. Like To open a new account, all you have to do is go here and click on provide your name, email ID, and phone numbers. Select the brokers. There are 7 of them with whom we have an understanding, which will help you to get free APIs for life. So select the broker, and then once you select the brokers and say submit, it will take you to the broker's web page, and you will be asked to complete the account opening process. Once the account is open and the client ID is generated with the password, you will need to take those details and use our platform as such. Once you have a client ID and password from already for an account or with a broker, or if you're opening a new account, all you have to do is come here and then log in to the web page. So the way to do it is one more thing I wanted to also share is, suppose you find some feature which is currently not available, you can ask for a new feature from this tab. You can say that, okay, you can click here and give the details of the requirements that you feel is important for your trading or investment purpose. We will look at the feasibility of getting that developed and making it available for all users in our platform itself. So kindly ask for any new features which you find that is not available currently and you find that of value. Please use this tab and highlight your requirements. And in case if you want to have a demo done or a first time installation to be done, like somebody was asking about how to integrate done account with a charting, all you have to do is go to this install and then select a date and time, and our executive will get in touch with you on the set date and time and help you out in terms of whatever requirement are there for doing the setup as such. They'll show you a couple of things. Once you get a hang of it, you will be able to do it on your own. Nothing complex in terms of using the platform at all. Anybody, and it is pretty simple. One or two important things to be understood. After that, you will find it easy to use. Yeah, see what happens when you are using a profit log or M2M is that suppose you have set 750 as your profit, we will be monitoring what is your profit at any point in time. And as soon as it reaches 750, we will close portion, we'll send a signal to the exchange through the broker to close your position. as I was mentioning earlier also, if the volatility is not very high, you might your trade might get closed at the expected rate, wherein you can try and get the profit of say 750 as such. Now, if the volatility is very high and the price has moved up pretty fast against your direction, then it could drop to 300, 400 rupees also. It is all dependent on the price running at the exchange at that point in time. As soon as your profit level is achieved in our platform, we send it across to the exchange to close your position. At what rate it gets executed is not in our hands because it is going as a market order. Now, there are situations where instead of 750, you might end up getting 1000 rupees also because the price would have reversed or the volatility would have ensured that it has gone in your direction, then you get a better price. Yeah, thanks, sir. That is true. Once it if you don't want if you want the strategy to keep running after closing the open position, you can keep it open. So when a new signal comes in from say trading view or from your charting platform, we'll execute the orders. Or if you say that okay, I just want one trade to be taken, you can say set it to one, and we will not take any new orders. Yeah, you can, if you have a strategy in trading view and you would like to use those signals say with uh, multiple uh, people, or you would like to share them with your friends and family, there's a method of doing it. There's a facility called the sharing of the signals, which is available with us. So from your trading view, you can trigger orders onto multiple accounts also. Sorry, I didn't understand your question. Let me try and see, the current portion will be closed. Suppose you have set the profit log at 750 rupees, then the portion will get closed. As soon as the profit drops down, suppose the profit was running at say 1000 rupees and you said lock my profit to minimum 750, then when the profit comes down from 1000 rupees to 750, we will send the signal to the exchange to close your portion. You can set it, the strategy can be open for the day. It can remain open. All you have to do is you should not say that okay, limit my trades to say one trade or two trade. If you keep it as unlimited, so if your strategy is sending multiple signals, it will keep coming in. And every time if you have a profit of 750, if you have not made any changes, as soon as that lock profit levels get achieved, it will close the position. So you can keep running it throughout the day. Yeah, the strategy will continue to keep running. In case if you have set it as one, then the strategy will get switched off. So if you want the strategy to close, then you set the number of trades to be say one or two or three. Depend. Suppose you want to take say three trades with each giving you say 750 kind of profit. You after three trades, it will automatically switch off, and any new signals coming into the strategy will not be executed. Or if you set it as only one, then after one say profit log order gets closed, it will get switched off. Yeah, strategy will get closed. It will become inactive. If you kept it as live, it will become inactive. Now, let me try and explain again. Suppose you have taken a position to trade in a particular PE and it has achieved a profit of say 1000 rupees. You want the profit to be locked at 750 rupees. So if the price or the profit starts dropping to 750 rupees, once it reaches 750 rupees from 1000 rupees, we will close that position for you. Right now, if you want new trades to be taken after that because your trading view is sending signals again, you can continue doing that. Or if you don't want any new signals to be processed, you want to close the entire thing for the day, you can do that also. Both facilities are available. No, for using TradingView signals, you will need to have a subscription of TradingView. One subscription is sufficient, but suppose you are trading and you have another five friends who are also trading. All of them will need to have an account with Algomojo, either open through Algomojo, wherein you get free of cost APIs, or subscription of Algomojo for all the five people. So but TradingView subscription will be only one, and using the signals from there, all five users will be able to take the trades as such. Install slot is suppose uh, you want a demo or you want a setup to be done. Say you want to see how to do the setup in TradingView or Amibroker or charting at a particular time. Say on Monday at 3 o'clock, you want this to be done. You can go to this install slot and give the time and date. So our executive will get in touch with you at that particular point in time and help you to do the setup and show you the requirements that you would have, how to do that and how to use that. And make you understand the requirements that you would have and how to trade using your platform. And as I was mentioning, the process is pretty simple. Once you do it on your own, or once you understand how to do it, you'll be able to do it on your own completely. Nothing complicated in this. Yeah, how to send alert signals from TradingView? We will look at some live examples today. Yeah. Now, coming back to our platform. So once you have a login credential from any of the brokers with whom we have done the integration, all you have to do is open the web page, go to Algomojo and open this em.algomojo.com, or you can directly type in em.algomojo.com. Select the broker from the list. I'll be using TradeGenie for today's demo. So you can say TradeGenie and log in with the broker. It will ask for the same credentials of what the broker would have given. Give the trading client ID and the password. And the TOTP. Login. So you need to use the same credentials what your broker would have given. So there'll be no confusion in terms of what is the credentials for Algomojo, what are the credentials for broker. It is the same thing that you need to use and get live. Uh, yeah, we will look at some of the features like this. Yeah. Now, once you log in with your broker, you'll find a homepage which will give you a summary of the funds and holdings and positions, those kind of things. There is a facility to add um, watch list for your monitoring purpose. You can place orders from here also manually. In case if you want to place say order in Indus Tower, you can go and say buy from here and the order will get executed. These are available to facilitate manual order placements, not for automation as such. Automation is a slightly different process. We will look at that. Once you log in, you'll find a lot of tabs on the left side. Go to the first tab called My API. When you're opening it for the first time, it will ask you to generate the API. So once you say generate API, you'll be able to see these details with your client ID, which is the broker client ID. And these are APIs generated by Algomojo for automation purpose, telling you what are the validity of these things. So if when you open a new account using our referral, this will be free for life as such. So you will find that it will be on for about almost 10,000 days as such. For renewing, I use this button. So as I was mentioning, there's a trial available for 7 days for all users. Please use the trial. Check if all the features are helpful to your kind of trading or investment purpose. Once you're satisfied with our platform, then you can choose the subscription method which you find convenient. It could be monthly, half yearly, and yearly. Yearly, it works out to 500 rupees per month. Now, if you open new account as a referral, even these charges will not be applicable. So once you have the APIs, the next step is to define what is that you want to trade. That we do it from this tab called My Strategies. There's something called My Strategies. Go here and say, click My Strategies on the right tab, what you see. right? Now, once you create a strategy, it is always available in the list. It will not be removed unless you do it manually on your own. So, for example, if you don't want any of those earlier strategies, you can go and delete those. So, all data, information, whatever is there, it will all be removed from there. So, create a new strategy here wherein we say what is that we want to trade. This is the first thing that you need to define in the platform as to what is that you want to trade. Give a name. It can be anything. Say, let's start with Nifty futures, the first instrument to check. How do we do the setup for NF demo? I'd say 14th June. And rule, as I was mentioning, there are five of them. I will explain each of them when we get into a chart as to what is relevant and what kind of strategy that you're going to use, right? For now, first demo will be on, we will use super trend as a first strategy in a trading view. Super trend is always in trade. So the rule applicable for such kind of strategies would be stop and reversal. Why, how we will, the explanation is also given here when you hover around the strategy rules that are given. Or when we get into the chart, I'll explain in detail how each of these would be different and when to use what, right? I will first say, okay, stop and reverse. Then you'll need to mention what is the segment that you want to trade. Here, I'll say futures and options. And under trading symbols, type out the first few letters of the symbol, so I'll say Nifty, and then select from the drop down. I'll use the June contract. No order type in NRML or MIS for carry forward intraday. And the price is always market, so you need not have to do anything there. You have to also say how many lots you want to trade. Suppose if you say 100 lots, then it will automatically show what is the quantity. And we'll split the order in multiples of 1800, which is the phase limit for Nifty. These are some basic things that you need to define as to what is that you want to trade. Now, after that, there are a couple of things which are not compulsory, but as facilities are available, there people who wanted to know what is the X type, Y type, will look at some of these very briefly and quickly. Suppose you want to set a target, you can say that in terms of percentage or points or M2M. You can say, if you say M2M, then you can say that, okay, I want a target of 10,000 rupees for the day, and you want to have a stop loss, which is say in again in interim, and say that I don't want a loss of more than 2,000 rupees. So whenever the target of 10,000 is achieved, the portion will be closed. Or if it hits a loss of 2,000, the portion will get closed, right? Now, if you want to trail your stops, you can also do that based on points, percentage, or MTM again. We can say that again as MTM. Now, it will ask for what is this X, profit step X and trail stop loss Y. These two values need to be set up, also mentioned, updated. Suppose what is profit step is, we have said the profit of a target of 10,000. Suppose you say that the target moves to say 11,000. For every 1,000 rupees increase in my profit, trail my stop loss by 250 rupees. That means to say if profit becomes 11,000 rupees, your trailing stop loss will be kept at 2,250, right? Um, so even that will keep trailing as you go up. Sorry, it will be 2,000 to 2,000 minus 2,000, 250 rupees. That is 1,750. It will keep trailing as per your profit move as such, right? Or if you are looking at, say, in terms of points, suppose you say that, okay, I'm targeting 100 points and my um, stop loss is say 20 points. And you can say that target and stop loss also I'd like to move. Suppose my target moves up by say 10 points, move up my stop loss values by 2%. So for every 10% increase in your target, your stop loss will move up by 2%. Earlier it was 20. Now it will scale up so that it reduces by another 2%. So you will need to, when you're doing a trade, always use these steps as to for every increase in the profit or loss, how much trailing stop loss should increase or decrease, right? So uh, um, Now, if you say that you want to lock profit, so as is, you can use this facility called lock profit. Now, most of you are aware, M2M is the day's profit. Profit is the actual profit is the portion taken, say, 2 days back, and it is still currently running. Um, the profit or loss on that portion is what we will keep monitoring, and not the day's profit and loss. Now, you've taken a portion 2 days back and it has achieved a profit of 10,000, and you would like to ensure that you don't lose more than 8,000 or say 2,000 rupees, or you would like to lock a profit of 8,000 rupees. You don't want to lose more profit if the market starts going against your direction. Then you say that, okay, I would like to lock my profit and lock my profit at say 8,000 rupees. Sorry, trigger lock is 10,000 rupees. Suppose your position is already in 10,000 and minimum profit that you would need is 8,000, say, for example. So, for example, when you start the day, you are at a profit of say 5,000 rupees and the profit has moved to 10,000 rupees. So now you feel that, okay, market could start reversing back. I would like to lock my profit. Then you say that, okay, my lock profit should get triggered or activated when my total profit increases to 10,000 rupees. If the market keeps going up, you can still further trail this lock profit also. Or if the market starts coming down, we will look at your open positions total profit, not the base profit, total profit. Once it hits 8,000 rupees as a profit, we will send the position to be closed to the exchange through the broker, right? So that is what this lock profit and minimum profit lock is meant. Now, suppose you want to trail this, s- the profit is the portion is in your direction and the price is also moving in your direction. Market is in your favor. So you would like to trail as much as possible. You can do that by asking the platform to trail it for you. You can say trail my profit, and profit steps, you can say that if my profit goes up from 10,000 to 11,000, for example, 11,000, then, sorry, goes up by 1,000 points, 10,000 becomes 11,000, my trail amount should increase by 250 rupees. So for every 1,000 rupees increase in the profit in your direction, the trail amount also will keep moving up. Suppose this moves to 11,000 rupees, your profit would be moved to 8,250. Suppose this moves to 12,000 rupees, this would become 8,500. So if the profit drops to, or the market starts dropping, we will close your position when the profit comes to 8,500 from 12,000 instead of 8,000 rupees. So you can trail your overall profits also using our platform. That's how the X and Y needs to be defined here. In case if there's any confusion, you would like to understand how these work or how to set it up, we have a blog which gives you complete information as to how to use this. Just refer to this. Let me try and show you this. Go to our blog called Algomojo blog and say here, example, there's a article on how to lock profit. It will give you the complete definition of how to use it and how to make the changes, kind of stuff, right? Suppose you want to understand M2M. So understanding this M2M and how to trail those. So you can search based on the words also. Kindly go through these articles, which will help you in terms of doing the setup also. Actually not. See, target value and lock profit is quite similar, but not exactly the same. Suppose you were looking at a profit of say 10,000 rupees and the market is in your favor and it can go much higher also. So why stop at 10,000 rupees? Let it move up. So if it moves up by 2,000 rupees, then you can say that, okay, from 8,000 rupees profit, let it become 8,500. So for every 2,000 rupees, you are also moving your lock profit, minimum lock profit also higher. Suppose if it becomes, say, 20,000 rupees, instead of waiting till the price to come down to 8,000 rupees, you are also trailing that minimum lock to say, if it is from 10, it is going to 20. That means the lock profit would move up from 8,000 to say 10,250 or 11,000, depending on how we set it up. So you're also trailing the locking, the minimum profit that you're going to take. Instead of, say, closing your position at a particular target level, you are actually trailing based on the profit itself. That's the slight difference. You can also keep modifying the target, but every time you need to keep going and updating that. Like somebody was asking, how do I update the target and stops once the trade is taken? I'll get into that also. So these are some of the things that you will need to do it as a one-time setup. So kindly use these facilities. The next section is where you have things like when do you want to start the trade, when do you want to stop it, how many trades you want to take, maximum daily signals or maximum concurrent entry. Suppose, as I was mentioning, suppose there are multiple buys coming in. Do you want to take all the buys or just the first, second, and third buy? You can set that also. So every time a buy comes, so we'll take the first three buys, and after that another buy comes, we'll not take it. So we will wait for the sell signal to come. So all three entries taken will be closed based on the sell signal which is coming in. So use these facilities which are available in the platform to um, maximize your trading experience and profits as such. Let me come back to the minimum settings. Right now, once you update the minimum requirements of what is that you want to trade in terms of Nifty futures, number of lots, um, all you have to do is submit, use the submit button. It will generate a webhook URL which is unique to this strategy. You can look at that also. It will show you various details. Most important is your strategy number and your details like API and those things are there. So this TC270 pertains to the strategy where we are defining saying that we want to trade in Nifty futures and we want to trade carry forward. It is a positional trade because NRML is what we have used and we are trading in 100 lots. And these are the other optional settings which we have if we have anything like that. Yes. So it gets saved for this particular strategy. This is very important. Right? When you will be using this in all environments like your TradingView, Amibroker, charting, all these places, you will be using this link. And also certain codes are generated for TradingView at the bottom. For these are common thing. It's the same thing for all strategies that you create. Only unique thing is this. It is locking this requirement using this key as such. So it's pretty important that you use this unique key to the strategy that you're creating in TradingView or Amibroker or charting kind of places for from where you're sending the signals. So from here, when we get a signal, we make out from this what is that we have to trade. So we'll go to the strategy number 270 and we find that as a user, you want to trade in Nifty futures and it is NRML and it is 100 lots. We take this information and send it to the broker. That's how the system identifies what to trade, what is the client is wanting to trade. Yeah, thanks for the input. We will pass on the log profit suggestion provided. Yes, right. Now, once you have created this, the next step is to go and define what needs to be done. So while we are doing this, so after you save this, it will be visible here. This is what we just created. By default, it will be in inactive state. You have to activate for live trade or paper trade every day. Just remember, it is more of a regulatory requirement that you log in every day and enable these things for live or paper trade. So every day in the mornings, around market open, say 8:30 onwards, I would say safest would be to log in around 9 o'clock, 8:45, 9 o'clock, and enable the trades for live or paper trade. Because if you do it early in the morning, we are seeing cases where people want to travel or they're abroad, they log in at 5 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock in the morning. But brokers would be doing a maintenance activity and they will refresh the token which they are given to us. So when a trade comes in, the token which we are using because of your login would have got expired and a new token had to be generated. So order will get rejected. So don't log in too early. Log in as close to the market open hours as possible and then start your trades from here. Right. Now, somebody was also asking, how do I hedge my portion? So this is the main trade I am taking. And here I want to, whenever there is a buy coming in, I want to execute a PE also. along with this future. How do I do that? All you have to do is go to this new strategy again, and here and say NF hedge, and rule similar thing I'll use. And segment I will say options, dynamic options. I will say the instrument as Nifty. You have to select the Nifty instrument and select, say, which month, which period. It will also show you what date is the contract. If you say week 3, it will show you 19th. Week 4 or the current month will show us 26th. If you select week 1, it will show the July contract. So be careful in what is the contract you want to trade. And say if you want to hedge it with, say, OTM, say ITM2, for example, and you want to hedge, you have to select hedge buying. So when a long signal comes, so future long will be taken, and a PE will be, it will be hedged with a PE, which is of ITM2. So this is how you do the setting and save this. So you have created one more leg, for example, for the hedge buying. If you're doing a hedge selling, you can do a hedge sell, then it will go and sell the PE, CE as such. Okay. Now select hedge buying, then go back here. Yeah, you can create any of them. You can create any of them. Let me just show you show you these two. Then we maybe try and get the debit spread also. So here we are long in future. We are hedging it with a call or a put, depending on the kind of signal. So once you get these two things, we will need to group these things by going to something called a group, my strategy group. We go here and create a new group. We'll say give a name as we'll need to give a name. So we'll need to select what is that we want to try and trade. So we will select this we just created, that is for option, and this one for trading in futures. As you can see, this is futures for, sorry, this was not the one, P59. Yeah, what has happened here is, let me try and redefine this. 270, sorry, 270 and 271 is what I need to do. We create a new group. Yeah, 271 and 270, sorry, 270. Here, this will take trade in future, and this will do a hedge. So we'll give a name saying that, say, NF hedge, and say submit. Now, the rest of the process would remain the same. It will generate a new webhook URL. As you can see here, this is for the group as such, TCG24, group 24, and the codes would be the same. So once you group these things, you can also prioritize as to what needs to be executed first. Now, to get the margin benefit, we'll need to buy the hedge first and then the instrument future. So we will say that entry priority, I want this to be at as 1. I want this to be bought first, and then we will say we want this to be bought second. And while exiting, I want this to be executed first, so that the margin gets released, and then my option needs to be closed after that. So as you can see, you can set the entry priority, the order in which the signals need to be sent to the exchange. So when we get a buy signal from your chart, we will send the option signal first, and then the futures to be taken next. And while exiting, we will close the futures first and then the options. Thereby, you get the margin benefit also. Hope that is clear. So you can set the priority of entry and exit also. In whichever fashion you have set this, the orders will be sent to the broker in that priority. So here option buying will go first, and then the futures buying. Here the futures will get sold first, and then the option will get sold next. Okay. Once you have done these changes, kindly save it always and then go back. Okay. You will need to enable also. So once we do a paper trade, you can also check whether it is as per your requirement, all you have to do is place an order from here. You can do it manually. We'll select paper trade and then say buy. So I've said generated a signal manually instead of sending it from TradingView. So here, what has happened to this signal, we'll be able to see it under My Group Signals because this is a group strategy. You will need to refer to this tab called My Group Signals. Go here, you can see that manual signal generated is what you will see in the first tab. And what are the signals? You can see that the first order that was sent was, I think I did not save the orders. So priority, so it sent the futures and then the hedge. Then the orders that were sent were for buying futures and for buying the put. You'll be able to see the positions here. As you can see, the put is bought and the future is bought. So future has got hedge with put. Since I had mentioned only one lot, it has taken 75 quantity. And here it was 7,500 quantity. If I had made it 10 lots, then it would have bought the futures and also 7,500 quantity of put. And it can be in the money, at the money, out of the money. You can select whichever is the one which is as per your requirement. So this is the paper trade manually, which I'm doing. So paper trade don't go to the exchange. It will be in Algomojo platform itself. So that is why we are able to see that order is got executed. And it shows you here also that it is a paper trade. If it was live trade, it would have got rejected. Yeah, good question. You can see that when you do that, you can go to my groups and here instead of paper trade, you can change this to, I'll close all the open positions. I'll make this live trade and I'll say buy signal. And what has happened to that, you can check that. Yeah, buy has been generated. The order gets rejected because see, they one what happens is brokers like Zero, Trade Genie, they take this order and then try to process it. For whatever reason, there is no margin. They have rejected, saying my order has been rejected. People like Zeroda, they will not even allow us to take it. So they say that okay, there's no margin. If the margin was available, they would have said that market is shut. So that is the reason it has got rejected. So the orders executed will also be seen under the brokers tab and also under our tab. So my group signals, the orders have got closed, rejected, and you can see all the orders are rejected because we had selected live trade and there are no open positions. So this is how I would always say that do a manual trade first and then check if the orders are going as per your requirement and then get into the chart for integration. Right? Any doubts in this? So this is how we generate signals from Algomojo itself. Yeah. See, if the margin was there, then the broker would have sent through the API saying that markets are closed, and you would have seen that kind of messages. Coming back here, we'll look at some of the strategies. We will next, any doubts on how do we do it? You can do that also from here. Suppose your live and paper trade are not on, then it will not allow you to place the order. Suppose you say paper trade here, say, for example, you can, for this leg, for futures only, you can place an order from here itself, and you will be able to see the paper trade. And whatever operations are done from here, we will be able to monitor and take the action accordingly whenever there's a new signal coming in. Now, suppose you take an order, place an order manually, but in our system, we will not know you've taken a position manually. So then we will not be able to manage that automatically. Whereas if you take the orders or place orders from here, we will be able to manage that automatically also. I'll explain that further when we look at a chart. Yeah. Now let's look at TradingView and see how do we generate signals and see how they get processed. We will, first thing always you need to select in TradingView is you need to have a subscription for TradingView, the basic essential service at least. They support Webhook URL in the paid versions only and not in the free version. First, select the instrument for getting some live trades. So let's look at the market which is open, crypto market. We select Bitcoin. This market is open. Yeah. And then select the time frame. I'll say 1 minute. Let's try and get some live signals and see how they get processed. Yeah. Yeah. This market is running, though very slow. Hope we'll try and get some good signals today. Let me see. Okay. So once you select the instrument, it could be Nifty, Bank Nifty, whatever you're trading. Select the time frame and then load your strategy. It can be any strategy. All it has to have is all it has to do is have a facility. It should be able to give you signals for buy sell, and it should have a facility to create alerts. If you see some study which don't allow you to create an alert, then we will not be able to automate that. It's the strategy should be able to create an alert. If I have a facility to create an alert, we will use super trend. I already loaded this. I'll enable it so that it will be visible here. Yeah. So this is the super trend strategy running on Bitcoin. So as you can see, super trend is always in trade, either long or short, right? It is long, short, long, short. It keeps running. So it is always in trade. Now look at any strategy. It could be similar to that. If your strategy is similar to this, like it is always in trade, either long or short, then use the rule called stop and reverse. What it does is when a long signal is generated, it will take a long position, and when a sell signal comes, it will close the long position and take the reverse position, that is a short position. That's why we say that long needs to be closed and the short position, a reverse position of that needs to be taken. So it will take a short position, and when a buy comes, it will stop the short position and take the reverse long position. So for such kind of patterns of strategies which are always in trade, either long or short, use the rule called long stop and reverse. So our system will understand that this is how your strategy is going to perform, or strategy's requirement is this: when a long comes, we have to take a long entry, and when a short comes, it has to stop the long trade and take the reverse trade. So we'll close the long position if it is open and take the reverse short position. So kindly look at how your strategy is framed, whether it is always in trade, not always in trade. Now you will find there are strategies, say for example, it will take a buy here, for example, and it will close the trade here because certain logic is defined. It will close the trade here, and after that there will be no uh, other trade. Then a new signal will be generated here for sell. So for some time there's no signal at all. So it has taken a trade, closed it here, no trade, and then again a signal. And again, it could stop the short trade here and then maybe take a long trade here. So it is intermittent. It is not always in trade. There's an entry, exit, no trade, and again an entry, exit, no trade, or it could be entry and exit. So it could be moving in that kind of fashion. Then you have to use a rule called long plus short if you want to trade both types of trades, that is long and even short also, right? So be careful as to what is the rule which you use. Now when do we use the other rules, which is long only or short only? That is in a situation like, suppose you feel that the market is going to trend downwards now only from now on, and you want to take only the short trade, use a rule called short only. What it does is, whenever there's a short trade coming in, we'll take an entry. And when the buy comes, we'll close the entry and not take the reverse entry at all. So we will wait for another sell signal to come and then take that sell signal or short signal. So we will honor only the short trades and not take any long trades at all. Suppose tomorrow the market direction changes and I want to take only the long signals, then use long only as a rule. So you have long only as a rule, short only as a rule. Then you have long plus short, buy sell. Let me show you that also on the platform. So here, long only for taking only long trades, short only for taking only short trades. Then you have long plus short, that is buy and sell. That is trading view normally gives signals as buy or sell, whereas Amibroker gives you both type of signals. Another two types of signals, which is short and cover. So for Amibroker, we would suggest use long plus short, buy sell short cover as the rule. Then if you are in trading view, then use buy sell as the rule. If you make a mistake here, then your trades could go for a toss. So kindly be careful in terms of studying how is your rule strategy performing or designed, and then select the appropriate rule. If you make a mistake or if you have any doubts, get in touch with us. We will be able to check your core or strategy on the screen itself and suggest what needs to be done. Or if you would like to understand better in terms how the rules work, you can look at these pop-up messages and get an understanding also. Or if you go to the documentation, if you see this API documentation, you will get details about all the functions that we have, including things from, say, somebody was asking about log into a broker. Suppose you have a done broker, then how do we do an integration with done broker? There's a small video and all the steps which are related to using done broker kind of thing. So kindly go through these documentation, and if you still feel that you have any issue, then you can get in touch with us. We are there to help you out as right? So this will be found under the link called API documentation, or you can go to modules or strategies. It will take you to the same page. From there, you select what is that you want to have more information about. I request you to go through that. See, you if your strategy in trading it can generate only buy sell, then only we will be able to take care. See, mm, your trading view is anyway sending buy and sell. But whereas we have to understand whether we have to take the stop, we should not take the long trade or the short trade, or we have to take both the trades. So that is the reason why I have to define using our rules. See, in case if you would like to go and use the API documentation, like in this today's demo, I'll not be able to cover that. And in terms of coding, as to how to use a Python code or run your C++ kind of code. We don't have much support. We provide library for those kind of environments. You will need to, if you're a coder, kindly use that for your reference and then do the coding, or you will need to refer to a coder or a programmer who understands these things and run it through them. We will not be able to do much assistance in terms of running it to say Python or any other code as such. Today's session is more to do with how to use our platform as such for integrating with uh, uh, tools like TradingView or Amibroker kind of environment, right? So I was talking about these rules. So let's get back. So here, like once you have loaded what is the instrument, time frame, and your strategy, the next step is to create the alert. How do we do that? We go to this. It could be any strategy. I'm using super trend. It could be any strategy that you would have. So all you have to do is load your strategy and go and click on these three buttons you will normally find on your strategy. When you click there, you will have a facility called Add Alert on Supertrend. This pop-up window will come. Go to this message box and you have to update this message. What is the message to be updated here? We give that for you from here, from Algomojo. Go to, say, for example, this is Nifty Futures. This is what we had created to trade. Go down below here. Since we are using a strategy, copy this code and go to trading view and place it here. Copy, paste this, the date and action. That's all. Then go to notification and under the webhook URL, just whatever is there by default, remove that and go to Algomojo and copy this webhook URL. Sorry, let me copy this and paste it here and give a name. Say, I'll say NF demo um, 11th June. That's it. Nothing else to be done. So whatever you create here will be shown here. That's it. There's nothing else to be done. Let me repeat that again. Select the instrument that you want to trade. It could be Nifty, Bank Nifty, anything. Then select the time frame and select your strategy. Load your strategy. Go to these three dots. Click on this add alert on, suppose you are using something like a half trend or it will be UT bot, anything. Click on that and go to this message box. Update this message box with this content, and use this webhook or URL and paste it here. Yeah, and give it a name. That's it. Nothing else to be done. Now we will wait for the signal to come. That's it. Whenever there is buy signal coming in, it will get executed. Any doubts so far in terms of setting an alert for a strategy? Let me repeat again. Select the instrument, select the time frame, because time frame is most important. If you're running a 5-minute chart and your actual strategy is supposed to be running on 1 minute, then the signals that you get, there will be a mismatch. Be careful as to what is the time frame and instrument that you're running. Load your strategy, click on the more button, add alert, and update this message box, update the webhook URL, and say create. That is all. Now, suppose say this is already running in short and you want to enter this trade. You feel that the market is going to trend downwards. However, you're a bit late in taking an entry. Not to worry. What you can do is go to Algomojo. This is what we had just created. And take an entry from here. Go here and do a sell. Okay. And you can see that position here. You can see that manual sell has been generated. This will show you the time also. And order placed is for this. And the position is this. Here. Let me select a strategy called 270. So minus 100 lot is running, right? So whenever, since super trend is designed to work in such a manner that this short portion taken will get closed and a long portion will come. So it will keep running for you. So when a long comes, the short portion taken will be closed and a new long portion will be taken. That is how you can take a portion and after that leave it to the system to run it automatically. So now you have created a alert and you are also taken a portion in Algomojo and let the system take care of all the trades for you after that. You need not have to be sitting in front of the computer. Even if your power goes off, your internet is down, nothing to worry. Only thing that you need to note is don't log out from here. Don't go to our account here and say log out. If you log out, any signal coming from TradingView will not be executed. Or don't switch off your system. If you say switch it off, any signal coming in, it will not be processed. So morning, what you need to do is come here, log in around 8:45, 9 o'clock, and enable this for paper trade or whatever you're trying to run for paper trade or live trade. And you can, after that, if you have created this alert already, that's it, nothing else to be done. Whenever TradingView is sending buy signal, it can be TradingView, it could be charting, it could be Amibroker, any of these kind of environment, the process is similar. In charting, we don't even have to paste this. There is a similar kind of facility. You need not have to paste this also. Yeah, in the message box also, you need not have to do this. You have to create one screener for buy, one screener for exit. So in the buy screener, you have to give the action as buy. That's all. And there's a facility to place the webhook URL. Use the same webhook URL and paste it there. That's it. Nothing else to be done in charting. Hope this is clear. Any queries on this? Any doubts on this so far in terms of creating an alert? That's all. So it could be, you can bring in any strategy. So that way you're not dependent on us to for any for running your strategies. You're bringing your own strategy. There's a trading view which is generating the signals for you. we will pick up the signals generated from your strategies from TradingView and place orders on your behalf. It is super efficient. It is doesn't require any manual intervention. All you have to do is one-time setup of alert in TradingView and one-time setup of what is that you want to trade. Here we had specified that we want to trade in Nifty for June and 100 lots and those kind of parameters we have set. In case if you have set target, stop loss, timings, all that as optional parameters, you can set it up and leave it there. It is always available for you every day. Mornings come and switch on the live trade or paper trade and TradingView. If you have done the alert setting, it will keep running for you. You need not have to be in front of the system or place any orders. No intervention required. And the process for automation is also a very simple copy paste of the message box and copy paste of the webhook URL. That's all. Any queries, any difficulty in understanding this? You can use the Q&A box to type out if you have any queries. Okay. Now, let me show you a couple of things more. So while this short trade is running, let us wait for a buy signals to be signal to be generated in TradingView Super Trend here, and then see what happens when the to the position that we have taken manually and allowed it linked it to this TradingView chart, right? Well, one more interesting thing that I want to show is suppose you want to use an indicator. Similar thing, select the instrument, select the time frame, and load your indicator. Something like, say, RSI, right? You can load any indicator. Now, typically what happens is it's an oscillator. People trade if it is going up from below, they want to take a long trade, and if it is going up, coming down from top, you want to take a short trade. And how do we achieve that? Let us see when you are using an indicator, you have to create two alerts, one for entry and one for exit. Suppose you want to trade both long and short in a similar fashion, okay, and you want to trade in, say, Nifty options, for example. When there's a long coming in, you want a CE to be taken, and when the short coming in, RSI is moving down, starting to moving down, you want to close the CE and take a P. How do we achieve that? Let's try and do that. In case if you want to see any other indicator, let me know. We'll try and automate that as well now, right? So otherwise, we'll see what is the process. Yeah. Now, first we will need to go and define in Algomojo what is that we want to trade. So let me edit this page, what we already created, and I will say that instead of hedge buying, I want to buy. And I'll keep it the same stop and reversal. And here I'll say instead of Nifty, I'll say Bank Nifty. Right. And a contract I'll select of current month and I'll say ATM. It can be any strike that of your choice and say trade 50 lots. It'll show you the quantity also. And in case you want to set target and stop loss, you'll be able to do all that. Since the markets are closed, there'll be no price movement in the position that we take. So I'm leaving it at blank. I'm not updating any other thing because we'll not be able to see those in live market. Today at least, we'll not be able to see. Do this and say update. So we have created a strategy to trade in Nifty options for CE and PE buy. So when a buy comes, it is supposed to take a CE, and when the sell comes, it's supposed to take a close the CE and take a PE. That is how it should work. That is the requirement. Say, let's see how do we do the setup using an indicator. Here I'll come and say paper trade. Go to TradingView and against the indicator, the first step is similar. Load the instrument, load the time frame. After that, instead of strategy, you can load your indicator. After you load this indicator, go to these three dots and say add alert. As you can see, the pop-up is slightly different compared to what we saw for strategies. So for indicators, we'll need to, or even any studies, when you get a pop-up which is slightly different, you have to define or tell TradingView certain things. One is the condition. We will say that if the RSI is crossing up a value of, say, 25, And if the bar closes, I want it to be executed only when the bar closes. Let me keep this as 35 so that it will be visible on the chart. And when the bar closes above 35 value of RSI, I want a long to be triggered. So then we go to the message box. Here we will need to update a different message. Uh, go to Algomojo, go to this strategy for Bank Nifty, come down here. For indicators for buy, there's a different code. Kindly copy this, go to trading view and update that here, paste it here. So it says date action is buy. So when the RSI is going to cross from below a value of 35, I want a buy signal to be sent from TradingView to Algomojo for placing orders in CE. That is what we are trying to create it, right? And then we have to link it to the strategy using the proper webhook URL. So we will take the webhook URL from this page, copy this and paste it here. Give this a name. So say BN options entry. Okay. Then just say create. So your alert will be visible here, and the level which you created for long entry is also visible on the chart. As you can see here, if the RSI starts moving up and closes above this level of 35, it will trigger a buy order and the CE will be taken. Now, a similar thing we'll need to create for sell. That is, if the RSI goes above, say, a value of 80 and starts coming down and comes to a value of 70, we want the CE to be closed and the PE to be taken. So how do we do that? Pretty simple. Just right click on the strategy that or the alert that you just created and say close. Now what happens is it will create a replica of that. Some small editing has to be done here. Instead of crossing up, we will say crossing down, and a value will say that as 70, and we will say once for bar close. And in the message, instead of buy, we will give it as sell. That's it. And change the name to exit, for example. It can be any name, whatever is convenient for you. Since I have many other open, let me try and pause it. Okay. So option, you will be able to see this level also here. So if the RSI goes above 70 and starts coming down, it will close the CE and take the PE. Now, as you can see, the level, the RSI is closed above this level of 35 or what you had said. Let us see if the alert has been triggered. As you can see here, BN option entry has been triggered. And also, if you can see, the super trend also has turned from short to long. So let us look at both these orders, what has happened. Go to Algomojo and go to My Signals and select, say, for example, this Nifty demo. Nifty demo that we had selected is we had taken that position short entry manually. A buy signal has come, as you can see, it has come at 10:40, and the order has been placed for paper trade. So earlier it was short 7,500, now it is long 7,500. So it has stopped its short trade and taken the long trade. So that is how it will trigger a long or a short entry and it will keep running. Now let's look at the other signal. Hedge. This is what we created. A buy came here. So an order for CE has been placed and 1,500 quantity of Bank Nifty 55,500 CE has been created. So this will keep running as long as you want it, unless you stop it either from here. You can go and stop it here also, or you can stop using Algomojo. As simple as that. So you need to, if you are using a study like an indicator or a strategy, create the alert from the facility given by the TradingView chart. So either create an alert for strategy after loading that, or if you're loading any indicator, go here and say After loading the indicator, go and say add alert to that. So update these condition and trigger. When should it trigger and when should it, what is the condition to be met? You will see a lot of other things like crossing up, crossing down, greater than value, those kind of things. You will need to, depending on your requirement, you can select. Whenever that condition is met, then it will trigger a buy or a sell. So if you're given in the message box as buy, it will trigger a buy order. In the message box, you'll need to update the buy code. It will take buy. If it is short, it will take a close this CE and take a PE. Any doubts so far? So, as you can see here, the RSI could come down now, and if it crosses below this level of 70 that we have created, um, it will close the CE and take a P. Now, once you create this, it is always available also in TradingView. You can shift these levels. Suppose you feel that, okay, you want to, instead of 35, you want to take an entry at 20. You can drag it down on the screen itself. Or you want to make it 40, you can drag it down up and down here. Or you can go and edit it here itself. You can go and change the value. Instead of 30, you can say it as say, 40 or 45. It will change the value here. Or drag it down. It will get automatically updated. You can see that the value is something like 29. So these are all one-time settings that you need to do. After that, it can keep working for you. So without any intervention. So one time to create an alert in Algomojo in TradingView, and one time creation of what is that you want to trade, whether it is futures or options, and if it is stocks or commodities, for each of the instrument created separately. That's it. Any doubts so far? Any further details that you would like to understand from here? Right. Some more interesting things that people use or have been running it through using Algomojo also. A lot of people trade in trend lines or breakouts or breakdowns. You can do that kind of thing also. Like the process is similar. All you have to do is do a trend line, put in your drawing. Say for example, you can put a drawing like this, and one more, say drawing like this. Suppose you want to take a long entry if there's a breakout above this level, or you want to take a short entry below this breakdown. So you can do that also. Put in your drawing, it can be anything. Then right click on the drawing and say add alert on trend line. So you can say that if the price is crossing down this trend line, and if it closes below that, I want a short entry to be done. All you have to do is go here and update this code. The code which we used for indicators. Copy the same code, come down here, use this cell as the copy this and paste it here. And update the URL. That's it. You can give a name. So you can say that PL breakdown. Right. And so whenever the price falls below this level, it will trigger a short for you. Now, as we were working, we can see that the RSI is crossed below and a trigger has been sent for sell, right? So let's look at what has happened to the signal. Go to my signals. Under my signals, you can look at this cell has come and it has taken a position in PE. What happened to the CE? You can see that CE position has been closed. This was the CE position that has got closed. Now a PE is running because the trading view, the RSI came down below 35. This is the alert that we had just created. So this PE will keep running. When it goes below this level and starts coming up, PE will get closed and C will be taken. So it can keep running as long as you want it. It is as simple to create and use it. So all these are one-time things that you need to do. And without any delays or without any interventions, your trades can happen um, at a very quick speed and without much delays, without any intervention, it can keep running, right? Any doubts? Anything else in terms of creating a alert? Yeah. How to set trailing stop loss? Yeah. Let me try and go that. Now, for example, this is the strategy which we have created, for example, for option trading in options. And so let me try and close this. Let me close this. When you're creating an alert, or if you already created an alert, go here and say you have got a suppose you don't want any target is taken care from your system, and you are looking at only trailing stop loss and trailing stop loss. What you can do is you can say that points and stops, you can keep it as say 25 points. Suppose you've taken a premium any option which was running at 100 rupees premium, and if the premium comes down to 75 rupees, you want to close it, so you set the stop loss value at 25 rupees. And suppose you want to trail this, if your premium, the cost that you had taken it at 100 rupees has become 110 rupees and it is going in your favor. So you would like to keep moving up this trailing stop loss. So initial, suppose your value was at 100 rupees is when you bought, the stop loss would have been at 25. Now, when the if the premium has moved from 100 rupees, say to 150, you want the for every 50 point increase in your uh, premium, you want the uh, trailing stop loss also to go up by say 10 points. The way to set it up is, so here stop loss, we have set it as 25. Trailing stop loss, we'll say yes, again in points. And profit steps, if my profit increases by 50 points, my stop loss should trail by, say, I'll say 10 points. So what happens is if your premium was 100 rupees, which you bought, has moved to 150 rupees, your initial stop loss was at 75. When the premium becomes 150 rupees, your trailing stop loss will move up by 10 points. So instead of 75, your trailing stop loss has become 80. Now, if your entry has the premium has reached say 200 rupees, then your stop, which was initially at 75 rupees, moved to 85 rupees, and now it has become 95 rupees. For every 50 point, it will keep increasing by 10 points. Or if you say that for every 10 points, I want my trailing stop loss to be moved up by 5 points. For example, 100 rupees becomes 110 rupees. This will from 75 become 80 rupees. And if it becomes say 120 rupees, then trailing stop loss will move up by another 5 points. So from 75 became 80, from 80 it becomes 85, 90, 95. If it is in your direction only, it will keep going up. And when the trailing stop loss hit, suppose trailing stop loss has come to 100 rupees and your premium suddenly falls, it will close the trade at 100 rupees. That is how you set your trailing stop loss. So you need to say whether you want to set it up in points or in terms of percentage or in terms of M2M also. You have three varieties. So you can, depending on your requirement, you can set it as points or percentage or M2M. Suppose you say it as M2M, and if you want to say that for every and you set a value of say 1500, for example, and trailing you want to do, and again in M2M, for every say 100 rupees, you want the trailing stop loss to be increased by say 25 rupees. It will keep, whenever your entry moves up by 100 points, your trailing stop loss will move up by 25. That is, initially, suppose the value was, you had a profit of say 5,000 rupees. It had your trailing stop loss, or if your entry was at say um, if you had kept trailing stop loss at 1,500 rupees and you are at a profit of say 5,000 rupees, and if 5,000 rupees becomes say 6,000 rupees, accordingly this will move up by 250 points. So it will keep trailing the profits also. Any doubts and any other queries on the platform? Anything else? Any other studies or any other indicators? Anybody wants to have a look at it? Please let me know. I'll try and see how we can set it up. Yeah. Okay. There are no queries. Then so getting back onto the presentation. So this is what we saw, super trend. How do we do an automation? Can be any strategy. Process is the same. If it is indicator, we saw indicator RSI based trend line. Also, you can do. It can be any kind of study that you would have. Put in the study on the chart and set an alert for entry and exits, and the system can keep running without any intervention after that. Now, when you are using a strategy in TradingView, what is the process to be followed? First, you have to select the trading symbol, then select the time frame. It can be 1 minute, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, depending on your requirement. Then load the strategy that you want to run or you want to execute. After that, set an alert by clicking on the more button, wherein it will ask you to update the message box and the webhook URL. Copy the message box from Algomojo, what we give, and paste it here. And similarly, update the webhook URL. That's it. There's no other thing to be done. You're set. So whenever TradingView is sending any signal, buy, sell, it'll keep getting executed for you. And in case if it is indicator, slightly different in terms of process, but initially you have to select the symbol that you want to create, time frame, and then load the indicator. And the pop-up box will be slightly different. You will need to update the condition when it should be triggered and what other condition, like whether you want it to be once or once for every bar or once for bar flows. Those two other things need to be updated. Message content for indicators, you have to create two alerts, one for entry and one for exit. Either it will be buy or sell or buy. So copy those messages from Algomojo and paste it here. Create two alerts, one for entry and one for exit, and update it. That's it. Use the webhook URL, update the webhook URL. That's it. Whenever there's a trigger, the orders will get executed here. So when you're using an indicator or study, the conditions could be different. It varies from study or different types of things could be there for you to select and choose. So kindly note those and select the conditions accordingly. Your trigger will be normally be the same. It is once per bar flows kind of thing. Normally people use. So in case if you want to do options trading, you can refer to our module in the blog. Yeah, in case if anybody wants a demo, kindly use our calendar, book a date and time, or people will get in touch with you to help you out, sir. Yes. For creating option strategies, refer to our blog. For all these 16, 17 option strategies, step-by-step process of how to create it has been detailed. When it comes to support, now we are available on all working days. And from 9 to 5, and on Saturdays from 10 to 5. Hope that explanation on trailing profit is okay. See, there's nothing much we need to do when if you visit our office. If you ask me, I don't go to office. I operate from home. A lot of people operate from home. So whatever that can be achieved in office can also be done online itself. So when it comes to support, we are available between 10 to 5 on Saturdays, 9 to 5 on all other working days. You can contact us using our WhatsApp number 81055572233, or you can call our number. Uh, Executives will be available to take your call 8550828828. Then, or you can raise a ticket. Yeah, yeah. Just check if the slots are available. They will be able to help you out for demo as such. Sure, we will plan for an offline meet in Bangalore. We are based in Bangalore. We can try and do that. We will uh, uh, try and organize that shortly. Thanks for that input. You can raise a ticket and or you can send an email at support@algomojo.com. That's it. In case if you have any queries, do let me know. I'll try and address them. This is my email ID, and this is we have an extensive blog. Somebody was asking about butterfly spread. Let me just check if that is available in our blog. Yeah, long put butterfly spread, short put short butterfly spread, long butterfly spread. So if you want to create any of these, suppose say short put butterfly spread, go here and a clear explanation of what it means and how to do the setup is given here. Step by step process, how to create each leg. For example, what is that you need to select in the first leg, like OTM cell has to be there, buy two OTM, ATM. Then third is sell a higher strike. For after you create all these three legs, you will need to group them. How to do that is all explained here. After that, you give a name and submit and use that webhook URL under the group for placing it in TradingView. Here earlier, what we used to do was we used to copy paste this webhook URL. So for example, if you're looking at this, we used to use this webhook URL. If you're doing strategy groups, then go to group. And for that strategy board here created, use that group webhook URL. But otherwise, the process is the same. We have grouped here. So in a butterfly spread, there'll be three legs. All three legs will be you will be able to see. You can see say or set the priority also what you want to uh, buy, do the buying first and then do the selling so that you get that margin benefit. Set the entry and exit priorities, and after that, use the webhook URL and trigger your buy or sell from TradingView or Amibroker. Yeah, you can contact us on the same number. You can ask in case you want to speak to me. You can ask for Lukesh. They will transfer the call to me. Or you want any support for in terms of installation explanation, um, our support team will be able to answer them and help you out. This is the office number. You can call on this number. 8550 828 828. No, I am from the operations team. I'm not a coder exactly. I understand a bit of coding, but if you ask me to code something, I'll not be able to. There's a different development team. They are the people who actually develop the code. So you can WhatsApp us on this number or give a call or raise a ticket or send an email. Our team will be happy to get in touch with you and help you out. Now, in case you want to do a setup, all you have to do is go to Algomojo website, book a slot here. You can say install a slot. It'll take you to your web page and ask you to set the time and date. You can select the date and time. For example, today being 14th, and go here and select what time you want the demo. Suppose if it's at 3 o'clock, and it will save, and our team will get in touch with you and then help you out. If you want it done next week, Monday, Tuesday, anytime, so you can select the appropriate date and time. It will tell you what time they are available, what are the slots which are available, and they will help you out. Great. In case there are no other queries, then We can try and close the session here. Thanks again. My name is Lokesh, part of Algomojo team. Wishing you all a very happy weekend and happy trading next week. Thank you. Tell me, sir. Yeah, there is one coding requirement which we had got. Yeah, tell me, please ask your queries. Please ask your queries. You can type out your query here. Yeah, yes. Yeah, AFL also possible. If you want to see an AFL, let me just show you that. Suppose you have an AFL. Let me try and load one strategy here. Okay. Now this is an AFL which gives buy sell signal. This is called wheel intra. All you have to do is load any AFL that you would have, which gives you buy sell signal. Now this is similar to stop and reverse kind of rule applicable because it is always in trade, either long or short. So we have to add a module onto this. So the module to be added here will, if you go to the strategy that we just create here, for example, yeah, go to Amibroker, and here you have the code to be added, right? So you can go to the stop and reverse, copy this, and go to, either you can download the AFL itself. Well, let me show you that is a more simple process. Um, Go to modules here, select Amibroker modules. Sorry, Amibroker. Long only, or we need stop and reverse for that kind of module. So this is stop and reverse. So download this module. Right. And say place it in your folder and download that. Yeah, this is the module that I have. This is long plus short. If you have that module saved, just drag and drop it here onto your screen and right click there, and it will ask for, it will give you these three. There's one more section given here. The webhook URL is what you have to paste. So all you have to do is go to Algomojo, take that webhook URL against the strategy that you just created. For example, this one, copy this, and in Amibroker, paste it here and enable the process. That's it. There's nothing else to be done. That's it. You're ready to. So whenever you're getting a buy or a sell signal from this chart, the order will get placed. So on top of your AFN, long. So depending on the kind of strategy that you're running, whether it is long only or short only, less long plus short both, then download that AFN and superimpose that onto your existing AFN. That's it. Wherein when you open the parameters, it will show you a section where you have to upload the webhook URL and enable the algo mode, disable or enable. So it will start on you. It is a simple process. However, when you are using Algomojo, Amibroker, you have to install the bridge also as a one-time activity for the AFLs to work. And the process for installing bridge is also given here. For example, bridge. If you go to Amibroker bridge, it will explain to you what needs to be done. There's a small video also. Otherwise, also it's a simple process. You have to download this and keep clicking as to for it to install. That's it. So you will find it under this section when you go to Algomojo after you logged in. For example, let me go back here. Say dashboard. On the left side, the tabs which you see, you go to these modules. Go to these modules. You will find it under Amibroker. You can say click. You can see here also. Suppose you want this, or suppose you want button trading module also. You can use that also. I've loaded button trading. I can show you. So this is the price chart. On this, I want a button trading facility. This is the module which I downloaded. Superimpose that and say parameters and enable and paste the webhook URL. For example, I'll paste the same thing. So you have four boxes: buy entry, buy exit, sell entry, sell exit. If you click this button, the order will get placed. You want to see this? You say buy entry. As you can see, you get in the log, you'll be able to see that signal has been generated. And if you go to Algomojo, and my signals, I don't know which strategy that I used. Let me just check. Sorry, I have not updated the webbook here. So group strategy is what I triggered, G24. Let's look at what has happened here under groups. Yeah, the orders get placed. So here it has got rejected because markets are closed. That's Yeah, see, we need to have one call with a developer on the requirement that you had sent. There's some clarity required. So let me try and organize that call either today or on Monday. After that, we'll let you know whether it can be done or not, sir. Sorry, it's a delay from our side. The team was tied up with quite a few things. We will try and organize that for today or on Monday, definitely. I remember your case. Yeah. Any other queries? Anything else? Anybody? Let me try. If the developer is available, will try and get in touch with you and have a call. Sure. Thanks. Thanks again. Once again, have a nice weekend and happy trading for next week. Bye.